Hey guys, what's happening? It's your boy Terrence back at another video. How are you guys doing? Uh, I know there have been no skits lately, but hang on, they're coming probably soon. Uh, it's a very important video I thought of making. I've been bottling these emotions and these thoughts um, in my mind for a very long time right now. Not because of repercussions, but because of how to put it, how to deliver it, right? So I just thought, let's go ahead and do this anyways, right? Who gives a fuck anyways? Which is another point in this video, but yeah. And if you're wondering why I look like this, because I just finished my work. It's in the middle of the night. Um, yeah. So don't worry about that. As you can tell, I don't get a lot of time for rest as such. Yeah. So let's begin today's video. So so if you read the title by now, it's probably something like very vague, like the truth, or what's the truth, or kind of like, I'm so not annoyed, but I'm so saddened to see the world, act in a certain way for certain things while it's running the other way. Let's cut to the chase and let's cut to the bullshit. If you're between the age of 21, at least in India, or if you're in another country, let's say you're between 18 and 35 or 40 even, right? Basically from your adulthood, right? If you think anyone cares about you, you're fucking in for a surprise, to be honest. Um, I'll get to the whole message of the video by using examples. If you think your parents, your relatives, your grandparents, your friends, your culture, your religion, your all these attachments that you have to other living beings, right? If you think they care about you um, more than just your well-being, uh, I'm sorry, you're sadly mistaken. Unless, like, obviously there are edge cases wherein you have a filthy rich father or you have a filthy rich parents. Those are different cases. If you're an average Joe just like me, or average Joe, I mean, when you leave the house, I'm not an average Joe now, but you get the point. So, if you think, my dear friends, if you think the world is going to be all hunky dory and shit, it's not. I'm just giving you out of my few years of experience. Not few years, I've been around 6 years around, something like working like that. So I have observed a critical pattern, right? So there are two kinds of categories the world kind of spits out by the time you're 30. That's where I'm nearing to. That's why I just thought of using that as an example. So category A is people who realize that the world doesn't care, but they still keep the hustle on and keep grinding. And your category 2 who then cling on to things like alcohol, things like substance abuse, whatever, right? So you will don't take my word for it. Live till you're 30, and you will see, especially in big cities. I'm not talking about you in a fucking village or something. But if you moved out of your house to build a career and to because you have some goals as such, you will realize um, that it's not all hunky dory, and it's not your little small village town that you think the world is. If you want to stay there, it's fine, but we all know you have to take a risk and move out someday or the other. uh, and this ties into the next point is uh, before I go to the next point, I'll give you an example if you don't believe me, right? So I had this friend of mine who's working in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, a little elder to me. Let's say around 4 or 5 years elder to me, right? So this guy had this mentality which we all do as humans at the beginning, like oh, I've just started my career, so I can just go ahead and just have fun. And here they call fun, not here as in the whole world. Basically, once you start earning money at the beginning, right? You think like, oh, I've just started my career, so I can just blow off all the money that I get on the first or on the fifth, whenever you get your paycheck, basically, right? So I can blow it off, and then like later in the future, I can like kind of save stuff. I'm sorry to say this, unless you are one of those edge cases I spoke about, where you have filthy rich parents and good support, which is very rare these days, to be honest. Not just financially, but also mentally and emotionally, right? Unless you don't have those, right? You'll be in a big surprise, especially in times like these. So I'll tell you what happened to that guy. So he kept spending all his money on, I mean, to each his own. He told me this story and I got permission to tell this. That's the reason I'm saying. So there was this guy, my friend, right? So he was in the Emirates, Sharjah in particular, I guess. Um, he gets his salary and he used to like spend it off like by the end of the month, no savings, nothing, right? So what comes in goes out. So then I asked him, okay, so you spend your stuff on utilities like rent, all the necessities, right? So after that, what do you do? So he was like, uh, tennis. He was like, Terence, I'll be honest. I used to like, I'm basically a playboy. So what he's trying to say is that I kind of find it weird explaining, right? It was a very personal thing for my friend. So so he said, Terence, since I'm a playboy, I spent it all. So I got the image, and he like, he knows what he probably understood that I understood what he was trying to say, right? So generally, what happens is, now this is from a boy's angle. It can be also from a girl's angle. We've seen it multiple times, right? Going broke, basically. So to cut the story short, so this guy was a playboy, in wooing women, and he's literally like chat with like 10 women in a week, and by the end of the month, he's probably sleeping with about half of them, like on an average. Unless you're like loaded and you're like uh, super hot and those kind of things. Uh, Generally for men, women it's a different ratio. For men, like 50% at least they get laid with the women that they're talking to. So and it's not easy. You have to spend time. You have to do the whole courtship thing, and you know how it is, right? So it takes time, and let's not kid ourselves. It also takes money to woo a chick and then probably sleep with her or whatever. But he had this very he had a lot of experience in this, right? So he would make things very clear and tell the woman, okay, not tell him, but they would come to an understanding that it's just for sex and it's for nothing else. Okay, all good. So the second wave of the pandemic hit. Not second wave, somewhere around December last year, right? He suddenly lost his job, right? And if you know anything about the Emirates, like depending upon the type of visa you are in, as soon as you lose a job, they don't want you there, right? So then he takes a plane and I mean, he tells his, sad to say this, but he tells his parents that look, I don't have a lot of savings. I have like some that like 20,000 bucks with me, Indian rupees to be. Imagine you're earning in dirhams and then you have only 20,000 remaining, right? After like 8-9 years. So he comes to Mumbai, and then from there he goes ahead and he reaches Mumbai airport, and then he makes a call because he has to reach his hometown, which is in Kerala. He makes a call, and then sad to, I mean, I'm feeling pathetic to even say this. They tell him like, no, you'll just be a burden to us, don't come. So no one literally came to pick him up in the Bombay airport. And this is like a very well educated when he was in a very good position, right? But they all kind of knew, because of his honesty and because of his openness, that the guy didn't have money, right? So what I'm trying to tell you in the first point is, don't think that the world is very hunky dory. No one gives a fuck, right? God is not going to come and save you. What is that? Your rituals, your cultures, your relatives, your parents. They'll all be close to you when you have a lot of money. But when you don't have any money, no one gives two fucks about you. Correct me if I'm wrong. To each his own, right? I'm just here adding value to you guys' life and giving you real life experiences. Yeah, so that's one thing. Do not be in this whole fancy world that you will be saved and everything will be all right. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would like to talk about is all the bullshit, man. Um, in this place. The second wave, I'm just trying to articulate my sentences just to be careful, right? When the second wave hit, right? Even when the first wave hit, our dear leadership, you know who I'm speaking about. First, he made this thing, all should come out and bang vessels. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, we tolerated that, and some idiots followed him and did that. Second wave hit, and then all the rallies happened. All the praying happened in mosques, in temples, in churches. And guess what happened? The country is totally fucked. It's fucked from left to right. So the second point what I'm trying to say is, first one was no one, to be honest, no one gives two shits about you if you don't have money. This the second point is it's all bullshit. Everything that you hear, everything that is human made, right? All these ideologies, culture, religion, God, um, politics, uh, it's all bullshit. No one cares about it. If you think it does, or they do, or someone will come and save you, or someone will come and give you the silver spoon up your ass, they won't. To be honest, if you don't believe me, I just give you statements. Where is your fucking God? Where is your fucking religion when fucking people are dying? Oh, India, India, India. I saw this video on online. This girl was crying like her relative was dying, right? And the hospital was like, no, no, you have to go get your own oxygen, right? We all know the oxygen crisis. I really felt sad. What kind of country this is? I don't know why do we like even vote. That's why I keep saying never going to vote, because I know what kind of leaders you generally elect, anyways. Unless there's a reformation and there's refinement to the political system and the whole democracy thing, and not to say democracy is bad, but this kind of democracy in our country, right? And refinement in the whole religious aspect of things, uh, it's all bullshit. Your God itself, unfortunately, now caused a second wave. Fuck me in the eye. Do I need to say more? You can if you disagree with me, kindly just fuck off. I don't care. We know who are living in this state or living in this country. We know what problems are happening, right? And yeah, just think about it, dude. How will like the common man earn in a lockdown like this? The person like who's adding putting bricks on the wall or painting. What do you think they can do? Remote work like us? Fucking idiots. Pisses me off. I just told one of my relatives, once you detach yourself from all these human ideologies, you'll see a lot of open things in the open that are happening, because you're no longer, surrounded in that bubble bullshit. Another thing I wanted to vent on is, I have like few more minutes on the camera. Is I am scrolling on my Facebook feed. I don't know why I installed the Facebook app. It's very tempting. You're scrolling, like I'm seeing like 5, 6 like pastors and some temple live streams and shit like that. And there are people like amen, something, whatever your religion says. I was a Catholic, that's why I know they say amen. I don't know what they say in your religion. Uh, key phrase was, not is very important. So I was like, everyone's like, type amen, type. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? These religions just 10 years ago said social media was the devil, and then caused the second wave of the pandemic, and now they're praying that oh, if you make this prayer, if you do that prayer, if you do this, fuck all this nonsense. It's time for the general youth, at least for the youth, and I mean like the real youth, not the youth who are like fucking brainwashed since they were children, right? And I'm not talking about the whole woke culture either. I'm just talking people who are on very level-headed, right? To stand up and say this is all fucking, it's the reason for India's second wave pandemic is directly related, is directly proportionally, every whatever fucking word in maths you want to compare, it is because of those religious gatherings. And where was your fucking God that time, right? I had to vent this out to you guys today. So that's about it. Two things just if you have to take away is like, no one gives a fuck, so always focus on yourself, work for yourself, have enough savings, and that's the first thing. Second thing is just wake up, just fucking wake up, but don't be like these woke culture people. You know who I'm talking about, right? And don't be influenced by things. See the truth for what it is. If I'll give you an example. There are some idiots on social media, right? Who are saying like Modi did so many great things. I'm like, okay, you did great things, but now you have to take responsibility for the millions of deaths, dude. You have to take responsibility. It's fucking genocide. In my humble opinion, all the politicians right now should be thrown in prison because of it's basically genocide in itself for not giving a fuck when shit was happening. Anyways, yeah guys, let me know about your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Also, if you watch the video till now, go ahead and give it a like. It'll help me a lot. You can see I'm stumbling and mumbling. I mean, it's literally 4 in the morning right now. You can see my eyes. I'm not even joking. Until then, guys, take care.